There had been an ongoing controversy over health effects of electromagnetic fields for years, e.g. extremely low frequency radiation in the Navy's Project Seafarer, emissions of high power lines and video display terminals, radar and other military and industrial sources of radio frequencies, and microwaves such as plastic sealers and molders. Less is known of Department of Defense and Central Intelligence Agency interest in anti-personnel applications of the invisible energies. The ability of certain parameters of EMF to cause health effects, including neurological and behavioral disturbances, has been part of the military and CIA arsenal for years. That's from Remote Mind Control Technology by Anna Keeler in Secret and Suppressed Damned Ideas and Hidden History, edited by Jim Keith. It's a Farrell House book. It's a classic, highly recommended. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. I'm filming this as the bread and circuses affair of the Super Bowl is going on, and I will have no part of it. If it's an individual decision on your part to partake of the bread and circuses simply because it is something that is given to us to enjoy, supposedly, I'm not going to condemn anybody for doing that. I just say it's not for me. So I wanted to focus on a couple of things in this video and point out a few things that are very important. But first, I would like to plug this Friday's show on Blog Talk Radio. I'm going to have Christopher Knowles on from secretsun.blogspot.com, where we will be talking about modern myth, mystery religions, symbolism, synchronicities, and a whole host of other subjects. One thing that I do want to focus on with him, at least partially, is the Nine, the Ennead, the channeled group of supposedly divine beings from outer space that Gene Roddenberry had some relationship with, and also Project Bluebeam, which I'm sure all of you are aware of, or at least many of you are. So anyway, that's this Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Blog Talk Radio / The Stench of Truth. The link will be in the description box. So, on to the show. With all of the emphasis that's been placed by me and others on Egypt and what is going on over there, something should be patently obvious to anybody who is watching the state of affairs and trying to come to terms with what exactly is happening and where the pitfalls lie when it comes to, let's just say for the sake of argument that what is happening in Egypt is entirely people generated, and it's entirely done for the benefit of the people against a tyrannical regime in an effort to end the tyrannical regime. What are the pitfalls in trying to get yourself unmeshed from a tyrannical regime and trying to wrest control of your government back from a tyrannical dictator and from forces from without that employ techniques of control over your fucking government? And one of the key things that you absolutely have to have, you cannot walk into this without it, you absolutely have to have a grasp of, and that is what you want in place of it. You simply cannot have as your rallying cry, down with Mubarak in the case of Egypt, or I am against this or that, without having an idea of what you want in place of the fucking thing you don't want. Because all you're doing is you're opening up a cavity where there are plenty of forces and people and institutions that are just waiting greedily to jump into that cavity and fill that void. So you have to have a program of action that you want to see enacted in place of that which you are against. You simply cannot function without that. So I plead to the people in Egypt, have a plan of what you want. Please, before you seek the ouster and the vacuum created by your actions opposed to a particular thing, by God, be working on some fucking plan of what you want. And hopefully there are people there who are doing this. And that's my hope. But this brings us back to the United States. With all of the focus on foreign countries, let us not forget that the same type of thing is happening here. It is much lower key, it is much more behind the scenes, and it is less evident because we are a totally first world country. There is an illusion in this country that people here all live on a higher standard of living than anywhere around the world. That even the poor in the United States are better off than, the middle class or upper middle class in the vast majority of countries around the world. But this is fast becoming a lie. It may have been true at one point in time. I might have agreed with that. But it is no longer the case. And the facade is crumbling off of the great, majestic United States. And I hope people around the world can at least embrace the idea that the United States is not the people of the United States. And because the U.S. administration, whoever it happens to be, fucks with your fucking country, it's not me doing it. It's not my buddy down the street doing it. And it's not the vast majority of the American people that are doing it. It's the fuckers who are running the fucking show. And this is what we have now, where we have a new Congress that is supposedly on a mandate, which is bullshit, that they want to cut all of these social programs because this is where the money is. Fuck you! That is not where the money is. If you need more revenue, get it off the fucking rich. I have a plan. I have a plan for what I want, for what I think would make this country great. It's at my website, platformforthefuture.com/Maine. Go there, read it, see if you agree with it. If you don't agree with it, come up with your own ideas. But my idea of what would make this country great does not include shutting people off from the only fucking aid they have in an economy where there are no fucking jobs because everything has been greedily sent offshore by corporations. And yet you have elected representatives who think, well, they don't think. They pretend like they are serving the interests of the people when in poll after poll after fucking poll, everybody says, the vast majority say, that they do not want to see cuts in Medicare or Social Security or changes in those programs, even if it means the deficit grows. And yet they're talking about doing this. And mark my words, these things are going to come to pass unless people decide to do something about it and have a plan for what they want in place of it. You want to fund Social Security? I've already given you the solution. Remove the fucking cap on earnings for FICA. Make every fucking dollar every motherfucker in this country makes be subject to FICA. And Social Security will be solvent for as long as any of us are going to be alive. Medicare, a similar solution. In this case, you tax motherfucking banks, the ones who caused the economic problem to begin with. In a very little publicized report, it was revealed that contrary to all of the bullshit and propaganda that you are spoon-fed every fucking day. It was the banks and it was the financial industry that caused the fucking economic collapse in the first place. So, what do? We bail them out. And then they just sit to glide through and accept their billions of dollars in bonuses. We need to stand up and say we are not going to accept this, especially in light of the fact that we have a Congress and we have a president who is a do-nothing piece of shit, who can't even get his story straight from day to day, let alone his act together, who are poised to cut the social safety net out from millions of people in this country, and pretending like it's the will of the people, when it's not. Because they serve Wall Street and the corporate interests, the ones who have benefited in this economic collapse. Ask yourself, what is going on here? The market is way up. Way up. Goldman Sachs and all the other freeloaders, scumbags, thieves, burglars, and crooks on Wall Street are all raking in hefty fucking dollars, while the 99ers get nothing. While there are millions unemployed, and while the economy continues to be destroyed. So have a plan. Have a plan for what you want. Don't just be against something. You don't like Obamacare? I don't like the motherfucking thing either. I have a solution. Medicare for all, single payer, get rid of private health insurance companies forever. Get rid of them. They only add fucking extra cost and administrative bullshit to what should be something between you and your doctor, or you and your hospital. You don't need to change anything else in our system. So you can't compare it to fucking England or Canada. Because we have a great health industry in this country. All we got to do is get the insurance fucking companies out of it. Fixed. So, you don't like Obamacare? What do you fucking want in place of it? Have a plan. Check out my plan at platformforthefuture.com/Maine and read about it there. If you have different ideas, that's great. If you disagree with me, that's fantastic. At least you have an idea. You have a purpose, a focus of what you want in place of what's coming. And what's coming is austerity, serfdom, slavery, and misery. While the rich keep getting richer, the income gap grows, and we are turned into a third world country here in the United States. That's my message for you. Thank you. Good night.